Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about migraines, what they are, what causes them, and how they can affect the brain and the body. So, I want to ask you something. Can you imagine trying to go to school, trying to go to work, while every light seems to be so bright, every sound seems to be just too loud? Well, for many people and for me, that is how migraines feel inside of my head or our head. Um, I just want to say that today I'm going to talk about a neurological condition that is always misunderstood as just like a bad headache. And I chose this topic because, one, I feel very connected to it, and second, because I feel that people should be more empathetic with persons that suffer from this condition. Because sometimes they say negative comments like, oh, you're just too dramatic. And you can actually make the people believe that, oh, yeah, maybe I'm being too dramatic when it's not. So, we are going to start with what migraines are. Many people believe that migraines are simple severe headaches, but they're actually more than that because sometimes you could be so sensitive and you could have a migraine. So, according to the American Migraine Foundation, migraine is just not a bad headache, it's a disabling neurological disease with different symptoms and different treatments. And if you compare that to a headache, well, migraine is much worse than that. The Mayo Clinic explained that migraines often cause intense head pain along with nausea, vomiting, and sensitivity to light and sounds. Understanding what migraines are help us recognize that they are serious medical condition rather than just a headache. That's why I'm saying like people should be more empathetic because sometimes they say negative comments that actually affect the person, and also that can cause migraine because you make the person thinking and overthinking and say maybe I'm being just too dramatic, maybe I shouldn't go to the doctor, because that happened to me, that I have some type of friends that told me, oh, you're just too dramatic, and I stopped to go to my doctor just because I believed I was just too dramatic. So now that we know what migraines are, let's look at what causes them. What causes migraines? Well, researchers are still studying migraines, but they have identified several possible causes and triggers. So, the Mayo Clinic say a migraine is a headache that can cause intense pain or pleasant feeling, usually in one side of the head. Sometimes it could be in both sides, sometimes it could be in the front or in the back, or maybe in your right side or your left side. Sometimes I have migraines that have been so severe that it was all over my head. Even if you, I don't know, touch me here, I will feel so much pain. And I remember that I went to the emergency room because I just feel like I was going to die. It's so hard to have a migraine. And I will repeat again, I believe that people should be more empathetic with this type of persons that have migraines. So, according to the Mayo Clinic, common migraine triggers include stress, lack of sleep, hormonal change, bright lights, strong smells, and certain foods or drinks. For the food, I could say that could be like cheese, coffee, sometimes meat. It could be also candies, and I think it's also like sodas. I remember that when I went to the emergency room, they told me, oh, that you can eat cheese, you can drink coffee, you cannot eat this, you cannot eat that. I was like, wow, it's actually so serious. So, although triggers vary from person to person, learning them can help people reduce the number of migraine attacks. Sometimes people could have migraine attacks because they eat, I don't know, their own food, or maybe they smell something. The smell was so strong that caused the migraine, like just immediately. So knowing the causes of migraine also help explain why they affect more than just the head. Now I'm going to talk about how do migraines affect the brain and the body. And migraines can affect much more than the head. It's not only pain in your head, it could be also in your body. The American Migraine Foundation explained that migraines can cause dizziness, fatigue, nausea, and vision change. According to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, migraines can interfere with daily activities like school, work, I don't know, a party, hang out with your friends, and also affect your social life. It affects so much. Although something sad about migraines is that there is no cure. You only have treatments and lifestyle changes that can help people manage migraine symptoms. For me, that's sad because I know that some people are just too tired about migraines and they're just thinking like, oh my god, something is wrong with me, and it's not true. That's why I repeat again, people should be more empathetic with what they're saying about migraines. So, in conclusion, today I explained what migraines are, what cause them, and how they can affect the brain and the body. Migraines affect millions of people worldwide, yet they are often misunderstood with a headache. Learning about this neurological disease can help us better support those who live with it. That's why I chose this topic, because I experienced a migraine myself, which made me interested in learning more about this condition. Migraines are a complex neurological condition with different causes, symptoms, and effects on the brain and the body. The next time you hear someone say they have migraine, remember that they may be experiencing much more than pain. Maybe it could be sensitive, or maybe they're just sad. So you can show more empathy and encourage people to see the medical care they need.